What are you attempting to do that you would like to be better at? Is there something in your life that needs fixing? Would you like to improve your success rate? For most of us, it is a passing thought that we would like to get better than we are. A coach is supposed to have said, "I don't believe the old statement, if it ain't broke, don't fix it." If that were the case, then Jaguar, Mercedes, and Maserati would never make a change. "I've always looked for ways to make things better," he said. Having read that in reference to sports, I want to propose 3 ways to get better in the game of life. These are worthy of our thoughts. 3 ways to get better in the game of life. Number 1, exhibit a yes face. I read this story that is pertinent to our discussion here. During Thomas Jefferson's presidency, he and a group of travelers were crossing a river that had overflowed its banks. Each man crossed on horseback, fighting for his life. There was a lone traveler that watched the group traverse the treacherous river and then asked President Jefferson to take him across. The president agreed without hesitation. The man climbed on the horse, and the two made it safely across to the other side of the river, where somebody asked him, "Why did you select the president to ask for help?" The man was shocked, admitting he had no idea he had asked the President of the United States for this special favor. He said, "All I know is that on some of your faces was written the answer no, and on some of them was the answer yes." His was a yes face. In our marriages, at work, in our church groups, social groups, exhibit a yes face and watch the difference we will make. People are looking for can-do people. That is true in large corporations, small businesses, sports, marriages, education, and every other sphere in our world today. Exhibit a yes face. And number 2, employ staying power. Bill Parcells, notable NFL coach for years, said, "I talked a lot to the team about staying power. You never find out if you have that until you've been beaten down a few times. In this game, we will get knocked down, but it is the team with the greatest staying power that will win." In sports and in life, we will get knocked down. That's not an option. It's not a question of if, but when we will get knocked down. The question is, what will we do when we are knocked down? We need to condition ourselves to get up today and employ staying power to make a difference in our sphere of living. A dear friend of mine and corporate leader in Aflac for years employed the slogan, "Keep on keeping on." Persistence pays off. God is our example in that. Because of that, God has done all that He has done, and He will not stop until He has finished His plan. We may leave some of our projects unfinished. God never leaves a project unfinished. Paul in 1 Thessalonians 5:24 said it like this, "The one who called you is completely dependable. If He said it, He'll do it." Because God never gives up on us, we must never give up on the adventure God has called us to. It is called life. Again, Paul said in 1 Corinthians 1:9, "God who got you started in this spiritual adventure shares with us the life of His Son and our Master Jesus. He will never give up on you. Never forget that. You need to employ staying power." And then number 3, in the waiting game. We start early in life thinking that things will be better after we, and then fill in the blank. For example, when I lose 10 pounds, when I press 10 more pounds, when I make a better grade, when I have a date for the big occasion, when I get married, when we have children, when the children grow up, when they graduate, when they get married, when I retire, when I. Stop waiting. Can you imagine the players on the 2 playoff NBA teams this year all looking in anticipation, but no one getting up to put on a uniform and going on the court to play? You say, well, that's absurd. So is our waiting for the when eyes of our lives. Jesus said, no procrastination, no backward looks. You can't put God's kingdom off until tomorrow. Seize the day. Whether it has to do with God's work or our life and work, we need to do what we know we should do now. We need to learn to dare to dream big dreams and have great ambitions. We want to win in the game of life. We have imagined winning the game. It's time to stop waiting and go out and live out of our imaginations, even live beyond them by God's creative power. Paul's challenge in Ephesians 3:20 and 21 is this: God can do anything, you know, far more than you could ever imagine or guess or request in your wildest dreams. He does it not by pushing us around, but by working within us, His Spirit deeply and gently within us. It's time to end the waiting game. It's time to listen to the Spirit's inner promptings. It's time for us to get started really living today.